Good evening. Hello. How are we doing tonight? We have a stream here. So I just made a new video about calcium and phosphorus. I see a lot of people, especially the looks maxing crowd. A lot of these young kids, they start the diet for different reasons. Not particularly related to health exactly all the time. It's more so a vanity thing, which, I don't think there's anything wrong with that necessarily, but it's shallow. And I laid out in my video why, and maybe if you're rewatching, if you're watching the recording, and you want to wait, you want to skip because I'm waiting for people to show up. I don't want to just start talking and have to repeat myself. You know what? Let's schedule on the school. We're going to do... my scheduling event. Q&A. We're going to do it Sunday at 11. We should whatever. Oh, hello everybody. Sorry, I was locked in. Good evening, hello. I was locked in doing some stuff, scheduling a call for this we're going to do 2 calls in Zoom. One on the weekend, Sunday, and then Wednesday night. So, look forward to that. Do I grow any of the fruits or vegetables I eat? Short answer, no. Long answer, kind of. Tangentially, I work for a farm, and I know how they do things. They do things the right way most of the time, and I consume those fruits when they are in season. I've also been freezing tomatoes. I'm going to experiment with that because they're a fruit. You can freeze fruit. And I'm freezing tomatoes primarily to make sauces in the winter, so I can make ketchup or tomato sauce or something. Maybe if I want to make some pasta, I've got a pasta sauce recipe that's pretty good. And no, I don't. Vegetables, let's see here. I grow my own parsley. I grew some tomatoes. I grow a few herbs like a basil, which is really more just for floral reasons. It's not really like I eat a lot of basil. I've tried juicing some basil before. I just got out of the bath. I'm feeling kind of lightheaded, kind of nauseous. It's kind of new for me. But it wasn't particularly hot, and it wasn't particularly long, which was disappointing, but I cooled it off too much. Anyway, and then I also source from farms who also do things the right way. Farms I don't work for. I know from the farmer's market. I got some really good celery and beets and some radishes from a farm. I juiced those. What else? Yeah, I eat seasonal fruit in the temperate zone 5. So like we're talking peaches, berries, apples. I haven't eaten too many apples recently. I also eat oranges. I haven't really eaten oranges though in a while. I'm leaning more towards grapefruit. Citrus, lemon, and lime juices used in recipes and lemonades and other things, vegetable juices. And yeah, the grapefruit I buy from the store, the citrus I buy from the store, obviously because I live in Ohio. I don't do a lot of coconut. If I get coconut cream, I order it from Healthfully Farm. They have good stuff. They do everything the right way. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I do. Onions and garlic, I also get peppers, I also get from farms. I'll freeze the peppers, the chilies, cayenne peppers. I like eating those, I like using those. I like the heat they bring, and they have a nice flavor. I've commandeered some green onions, and the nice thing about having green onions is you buy them whole, scallions. You can simply put them in a glass of water, and the roots will take in water, and the stalks will grow. So you can always have fresh scallions, green onions, to dress foods with, use in sauces, recipes. Pro tip. Because it's a nice, light flavor. It's not heavy like a real onion, but it's just something nice. It adds a nice flavor to pretty much anything. You know, a nice fresh taste. It's really good. I have this recipe, tuna. Cube up some tuna, and then do like a little pepper, and you can get like dried wasabi, or like horseradish is probably a better option, like horseradish and green onion, little honey, lime. That's really good. I've never actually seen an onion flower before. But yeah, onions are good to grow. They're hardy. They keep for a long time. Those and potatoes. I don't really eat too many potatoes. Although I will say, the idea of a baked potato sounds very satisfying. Bake a nice, thick potato. Let it cool down a little bit, of course. Throw in a bunch of butter and sour cream and cheddar cheese. Shred it on there. A little black pepper. Some of those green onions. Man, that's a winner. That's so good. That's a good thing to eat if you need the starch. Doing that once a month, not really a big deal, but it's a nice treat. I'll probably do that soon. It's calling to me. I've got lots of butter and sour cream now, so maybe I will just go find or buy some potatoes. Oh boy. Nope, I gotta do that still. Yes, 3 viewers. Woohoo. I dropped a new video, which I was talking about earlier, but I was waiting for the gang to show up. You know, my usuals. 5 viewers. Okay, I guess I'll delve into it now. Let me fix my studio mode. There we go. Sorry about that. What's the lag time on this? I'm trying to see here. lag time. Okay, about 10 seconds. That's crazy. Yeah, so the new video is about calcium and phosphorus. It's a very important, they're very important minerals in your body. You should have a ratio of them. It should be like 1.2 to 2 to 1, calcium to phosphorus. For instance, in terms of like tooth decay, sugar creates insulin spikes, blood sugar spikes that disrupt that balance and prevent your body from sending nutrients in your teeth. Also, if you have more phosphorus in your blood, it will demineralize you. So you need to have a balance. That's why Audrina says to eat stuff with fat, because it's very important. Eat meat with fat, because there's a lot of phosphorus in meat. Even raw meat, like if you eat a lot of that, you're going to have an overload of phosphorus. It's going to leach from your bones and your teeth, the calcium. So vegetable juices, kind of a clickbaity thing I did. You know, I kind of pegged vegetable juice as the savior for this. It is very useful, but dairy is also very good too. But the magnesium is also important, which is you're probably going to do a little better job with that, getting it through the vegetable juices like the parsley, beet greens, spinach, that sort of thing. So you could honestly just eat sour cream with a spoon. Yeah, sour cream's awesome. I have like a gallon in my fridge, and I haven't really been using it too much. But lately I've been eating, and this is a trick, I use it, you know, grapefruit for microplastics and just general dissolving. Grapefruit and sour cream with a little honey. It's very good. Fruit meal. Secret fruit meal. I've been eating that a lot, and it makes me feel great. So, yeah, we got this video out. Herd shares are coming along. People are signing up, so that's good. I'm going to raise the price on the school as well. I'm adding another Q&A day, so that's going to be that. Two viewers, one like. That's pretty good. I mean, people just jump on here, and I don't know what they expect to see. I mean, this is sort of an interaction-based deal. You know, I mean, you answer questions, you prompt in the chat things. I'm kind of like Chat GPT, and you know, we talk about them. I already kind of briefly mentioned the video I did. I'd summarize that in a couple minutes. I do go through in detail and talk about it. Even had a PowerPoint. I'm pretty tired. I was worked 12 hours yesterday sanding and painting walls in a room. And so I'm pretty tired today. I was yawning. But I picked up steam at the end of the video. I didn't yawn. I kind of woke up. Now after the bath, kind of falling asleep again. I'm looking forward to getting cozy. It's cold outside. I've got some new blankets I'm looking forward to trying out. Nice wool blanket with some cotton blankets and sheets. Cozy maxing, comfy maxing. I'm comf maxing tonight. Yes, that'll be great. Probably won't sleep with my Revive because my tongue and mouth have been kind of sensitive. But every day I wear that Revive, man, I'll tell you what, this jaw, it gets a little more forward. And like when I bite, it's different. It's pretty amazing. I recommend it. Probably would be more effective when you're younger, but it's still working for me. I'm 35. I'm going to need to go get some more milk in a moment. I'll let that buttermilk settle. That's pretty good. Yeah, curdled buttermilk. I mean, it's already kind of soured, but it will still get a little yogurty, you know. Buttermilk's great. I've been drinking a lot of buttermilk, so I recommend it. Not too much, Carlisle. Just got out of the bath, feeling really relaxed. Yeah, I just went over a new video I made today. The importance of calcium and phosphorus in the body, the balance, the proper ratio, which a lot of people overlook, which also leads to a lot of things like people demineralizing their teeth, demineralizing their bones. You know, a lot of people, they're just drinking celery juice and it's not working out for them. Where's my chats? I lost my chats here. What you eat for phosphorus? Meat. You don't need to worry about it, because dairy, especially if you're doing cheeses and dairy, that's a pretty good balance of phosphorus, especially if you're doing like clabber milk. But it's when you're eating a lot of meat. You're not eating meat with fat. You're eating fruit without fat, and you're not getting parsley in your vegetable juice. It creates an imbalance. So you need to have vegetable juices that are balanced with parsley and celery at a minimum. Leafy greens are a good addition. For instance, like root vegetables and their tops. Beets, turnips, radishes. Kale is pretty decent to put in, 5%. 10% spinach is okay. A lot of people bring up the oxalate issue, but you can you add in enough phosphorus and magnesium and calcium with parsley, beetroots, as well as egg and cream. That will help counteract and bind with oxalates, excess oxalates. The body uses them in a way that is cleansing. Doing this in small amounts is fine. You know, I wouldn't recommend going over 10 to 20% of your juice in leafy greens. But yeah, eating that stuff, the juices, plus if you're getting shellfish, that's a bonus. Cheese and honey, a little bit of honey with cheese, like a teaspoon, not even that much. Because again, the sugar spikes. Even with honey, it's still going to spike your blood sugar a little bit. Especially if you're trying to ward off bone deterioration or tooth loss. Less honey's better. So, if you're craving sweet, honey is always better than fruit. And if you're craving alkalinity, vegetable juice is always better than fruit. I've been looking for some good local wool bedding. I sleep on the floor, and just some nice blankets in various thickness would be nice. Yeah, I want to get some tatami mats for my bed and replace my mattress with tatami mats on the box spring. I want to sleep off of the floor because the floor can get a little too cold, and I don't like bugs, so I want to keep away from the bugs. And yeah, I'd be looking forward to that. Yeah, it is cold as heck on the East Coast. I'm in Ohio, and it's like been getting colder. I need to brush my teeth. I can't forget to do that tonight. Profile shot on the thumbnail mogs. Yeah, thank you. I wasn't going for like full mog. I wanted to go like half mog. Like I'm looking at the vegetable juice, and then I I photoshopped the vegetables in there. I thought that was a nice touch. It's kind of clickbaity, because even the vegetable juice is a part of that, and I wouldn't say that those minerals from the vegetable juice are like main builders of the body, but they are helpful in preventing the deterioration of it. So when you eat the meat and the dairy, those will help build. Yeah, the warmth does feel good. You gotta watch the space heaters. That's EMF. Just saying. Not to be one of those guys, but if you're concerned about that, it's something to consider. That's the nice thing about the East Coast, too, is that a lot of houses, old builds, they have fireplaces. Like, I've got a fireplace right here. I have a bunch of wood in the garage. It's just kind of a pain to get the fire started, because if it's too cold, like when you have a chimney and a flue, here's a little education for you guys. When you have a chimney and a flue and it's too cold, right, what? It falls, it goes down. Cold goes down, heat goes up. That's how weather works, right? So when you have all this cold air, especially if it's windy, coming down the chimney, coming down the flue, and you're trying to light a fire, the air is just going to push the smoke into the house, right? It's going to push it down the chimney into your house, all the smoke you're trying to get from your little fire. So what you have to do is you have to get some like newspaper, which is really good. Bundle up some newspaper, light it on fire, and then stick it up the flue so the heat rises. So you get a thermal going up the flue while you have the fire starting below you a little bit. So that way you get the thermal going, and then that starts the chain to get the thermal and to get the heat to leave the chimney. If you don't do that, you may not ever get the smoke out. You have to warm it up and like light some stuff on fire and stick it up the flue, because that's the only way. Just a pro tip. I do a very good version of the diet. How much better would it be if I did the veg juice, would you estimate? Oh, it'd be easily 50% better. Like, your appetite for meat would improve. There are cleansing aspects to the vegetable juice as well. So if you are worried about detoxing, especially things like carbohydrates and sugars with celery, if you were skinny, carrot does the bile. Beet's a good blood builder. Parsley helps with antibiotics. So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of good benefits to vegetable juice. And, it's kind of like there's a lot of negative PR for vegetable juice because of GOTUS and the GOTUS cells, right? They're almost like vegans in a sense, where they're very dogmatic and religious about food and vegetable juice in this respect. But it's pretty great. So, maybe it's not for everybody, kind of like how dairy isn't for everybody, and certain kinds of meat aren't for everybody, but I feel like it's worth a shot if you're really going to try the diet. Find a combination that works for you. There's a lot of different things you can make. So, yeah. Just to start off, just try celery with parsley. 80%, 85% celery, 10 to 15% parsley. It doesn't taste very good because parsley doesn't taste very good. It kind of tastes like pond water, but you can add in some honey, an egg, and cream, and that will help with the taste. But it will, yeah. And you don't need to go buy a really expensive juicer, right? Like, I bought a inexpensive centrifugal juicer to start until that broke, and then I bought another one, and then that broke, and then I finally decided, okay, I'm going to find a real juicer, and I got a Ninja cold press juicer from OfferUp for $50. It was like new out of the box, like brand spanking new, $50, and they go for 150. If you want to spend a little more money, I'd recommend the Nama juicer. The Nama juicer is probably one of the best juicers out there. It is plastic, but you know, for the money, because you load it up and it churns, and you don't have to like manually sit there and do everything. You can like chop everything up and throw it in, and you can keep doing that. It's very efficient, easy to clean. Angel juicer is very expensive. The Green Star juicer is not good. It degrades plastics over time. The pieces degrade over time. You got to buy new pieces. It's a mess. The Angel juicer is probably the best. Then the Nama. The duality of Tucker acting dumb to ingratiate himself with his audience and also barely concealing his elitist contempt for the people. Is he mocking us? Just shower thoughts. Yeah, I mean, I think his family was like Swanson's food or something, like TV dinners, which makes sense because like he's a TV man now. His family made the dinners and now he's the TV. So, yeah. Although, like I said earlier, I think I said this last time, is I can understand the contempt the elites have for plebs, because like if you've ever tried interacting with just your average person, you know, who like watches TV and is programmed, they kind of deserve to be ruled and controlled, because they honestly don't know what they want. They wouldn't know what they want if you didn't have somebody telling them what to do, a boss or a teacher or the TV. Like, they just have no direction. They're just the aimless masses, the lemmings that need to be directed and channeled. Yeah. So, I get it. I'm missing anything? No. Tuck. Patrician doing a pleb impression. Yeah, pretty much. He puts on the flannel and I drive my truck and I live on my farm, and yeah, it's all very obvious. Um, if don't feel subdued, they will burn everything down. Thoughts on Nick Fentus? I don't know who that is. Nick Fentus. Huh. I don't know. Nick Fentus. Do you have thoughts on him? I need to move this honey before I knock it over. And you get some more milkies. 8 viewers. Wow, we are popping off right now. This is pretty high for average. 7 viewers, 2 likes. You know, this is a good ratio. You know, we're talking about ratios tonight. The calcium and phosphorus ratio is very similar to this concurrent viewers to likes ratio. Very balanced, very soothing and building for the body. I never know if someone is legit or a fed.